Now, from the Action 4 studios, Sports Director Clay Williams and Joe Bowling bring you the best in Valley High School football from the week past and for the week ahead. Highlights, analysis, and predictions from all across the Valley. It's time for Sunday Sports Extra.
Well, there's one problem with that introduction. There is no week ahead. Welcome, everyone, to the last Sunday Sports Extra of the Valley High School football season for 2013. I'm Action 4 Sports Director Clay Williams. With us, as always, Action 4 Sports Reporter Joe Bowling. And our special guest this week, Armando Garza, wrote a fantastic article on Port Isabel this morning for the Valley Morning Star. Thanks a lot, Armando.
Thank you.
And let's go ahead and start with Port Isabel, shall we? Yes, it is over. Port Isabel's trip for 6 cut short on Friday night by a team from Lavernia, just east of San Antonio. The Bears came to town. Now, Miguel Ramirez came to town as well and came in for a big punt, block, and touchdown that put Port Isabel on top, and it looked like the Tarpons were going to keep rolling. But after that, it was all Lavernia. They did what Port Isabel usually does, which is run the ball, control the clock, get some defense, and just hang on for dear life. J.J. Gonzalez's fumble that was returned by Colton Cabina for the touchdown put him up 21-7. Jose Garza's touchdown pass to Miguel Ramirez brought him back. But after that, the big fumble, and that was about all she wrote as Port Isabel falls 21-14, 3 rounds deep in the playoffs, but no more this year for Coach Monty Stumbaugh and Big Blue.
We got down there, we just turned it over. They were good on defense. It's good football. They're a great football team, and our kids, fought hard and did a great job. I'm very proud of them. So, they didn't quit till the end, and they kept fighting and came up a little short. But hey, these kids are the greatest thing in the world to me. So, I'm disappointed for them. I'm disappointed for them.
Next up, it will be Lavernia taking on Sinton. That game will be Friday at Victoria, but Port Isabel not involved in the 3A Division II Region 4 final. Armando, let's talk about what could have been. That fumble. They were on the verge of scoring to tie that game up at 21. If they had not fumbled, why did they fumble? Why were there so many more turnovers for Port Isabel in this game than there were before, in previous games?
I can't answer that because Port Isabel doesn't turn the football over. They usually don't shoot themselves in the foot. I was talking with Joe off air saying if they score that touchdown, at worst we're going to overtime because Lavernia didn't score in the second half on PI's defense, and they weren't going to score on PI's defense. Things happen. They fought valiantly after that, tried to get the ball back. But credit to Lavernia, their defense all night long, they clogged up that middle. They played good defense too, and now they're moving on.
Joe, we're going to play a big game of what if, I guess.
Yeah, it's what if all the way around. On that play, on that fumble, Clay, there was confusion going on. Isaiah Martinez was trying to get people in position. Play clock was running down to 3. In the what if he takes a 5-yard penalty, regroup, because they had all the momentum in the world before that final turnover happened. And, we circle them preseason. I'm not sure we're going to have a team to circle preseason that good to go that deep, and then here we are, season's over.
Yeah, well, Lavernia showed Port Isabel they could hang with them. They had everything that they had all the answers for everything Port Isabel threw at them. Let's talk about what happens from the Tarpons from now on, though, Armando. These last couple of years, Tarpon tradition is back. Big Blue fans, turn out like the way they usually do. What happens from this point forward? Where do the Tarpons go after losing this incredible senior class?
Well, they have big shoes to fill. As I wrote in the paper this morning, this was a special group, and they've been waiting for this group for years. Everybody knew, myself included, how good they could be. Now it's starting over. These kids coming up, there's a few guys coming back next year. They know what it's like now. They have to keep this going because 5 years ago PI missed the playoffs in back-to-back seasons, which is unheard of. They can't let that happen again. They got to keep this thing moving.
Yeah, now before they missed those playoffs in back-to-back seasons, though, Joe, they had gone to the playoffs for 11, 12 straight years. So is this a return, or is this just a blip on the radar because of a great senior class?
Well, anybody that walks on that football field is staring down at that billboard that tells you that there's some tradition here, and just because you lose 28 seniors, just because you lose a team that went to round 4 and round 2 and continuing the playoffs doesn't mean they're not going to come back. There's middle schoolers that go past that billboard, they're coming back. The program, we talk about programs and these coaches building programs. Monty Stumbaugh has a program from the middle school, probably from the grade school on up, ready to fill in shoes. And so don't write them off just because they lose 28 guys. We learned that from Harlingen here already.
Well, let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room, though. Will Monty Stumbaugh be back with this team next year? Is he gonna retire? Is he gonna go elsewhere? Will he stay with the team? I mean, he's built built on the tradition there and done it well. What's your thought?
Well, I'll hit it first, then you go. Monty Stumbaugh is a competitor first and foremost. So let's get that out right. You don't have teams that compete at the level that they do without the coach being the competitor. So will he retire? I don't think so, because just the interview I did with him, you get the sense that this is not how I wanted this season to end, and I guarantee it's not how he wanted his coaching career to end on a second-round loss.
Armando?
I mean, to me, Monty Stumbaugh is Port Isabel football, and right now he's under contract, and I'm sure he'll tell you that if you call him up right now. But he's got a decision to make. If he wants to hang it up, he can hang it up. But if he wants to stay, I think he can stay. And it's all up to him. And it's going to be an interesting decision.
I tell you, I think he had a great time this year. I think he had a great time over the last 2 seasons. He still has a great time coaching these kids. The kids love him. He loves the kids. I don't think he's ready to hang them up, and I hope he's not ready to move on, because, like you said, Port Isabel football is Monty Stumbaugh. When we come back, we're going to talk about Sherryland and what they were able to do against Madison and what they weren't quite able to get done. And it's all when we come back on Sunday Sports Extra.